So yeah, today,
what are we doing now?
This session, we're going to do something with roast chicken. But like I was talking before about home economics, you know, the GFC's just kind of passed, we're sort of forging our way out of it. And there was a real sort of resurgence. A lot of restaurants felt it because more people are eating at home.
Yep.
Now, if you like take your weekly vegetable food bill, like I've got a family of 5, we spend about $250 on food, 3 kids. You want to make your money go a long way. And what I said as well was that for every $100 you spend, you generally throw away 20 bucks. 1/5 of the food you buy is thrown away, just as like leftover, whether we buy too much and it goes off in the salad crisper, that sort of thing, or you have a roast dinner and you throw the bones away. You're paying $10 a kilo for a leg of lamb. It's an imaginary number. It's more than that.
Yep.
That bone costs you $10
yep.
per kilo. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at first we've got a whole chicken here. All right. I bought a whole chicken. Now when you buy food, it's important that you kind of think about provenance. Obviously this is regional flavours, so we're concerned about where our food comes from, but it's also about the husbandry, the way the animals are sort of reared. And chickens are one of those things that people just take for granted. You know, it's one of the most commonly eaten meats, but a lot of the chickens are grown in fairly inhumane sort of circumstances. So it's pretty important you buy free-range eggs, free-range chicken, if you can, organic chicken. Now you're going to spend a bit extra, but this is why we need to learn a little bit about home economics. So we've got a whole chicken here. Quickly, I'm just going to break it down. So imagine we have a roast chicken dinner. Okay, I've got another bowl here. Roast chicken dinner. You've demolished 3/4 of the chicken. Okay, you're left with some bones. Some people might not like the skin, you know, because you're on a diet, so we'll take the skin off.
That's when you like the skin the best.
When you're on a diet.
When you're on a diet.
Okay, so we got the wingettes. You know, you might not eat those. Keep them all. They go in a pot. Okay, and we'll just take these breasts off. Now you're always left with a carcass. A lot of people probably throw that away, but what I like to do when I am at home cooking is make a stock, okay? And it's an easy thing to do. Now, in restaurants, we're told, you know, you roast your bones off or you sweat them off. The reason we do that is to increase the flavour,
What does it mean to sweat the bones off?
You know, to cook gently without colour, and it seals it.
Yep. So
what you're actually doing is you're coagulating those proteins, developing flavours. When you cook, cells contract, the water comes out, so you're concentrating the flavours of the meat. Okay, so you've roasted the chicken, so you've already gone through that process of improving the flavour of that carcass of the meat. Okay, so we keep all that. So we throw in the skins, the bones, everything that you would normally throw away into a pot. We keep all of that. We've got the carcass here. Of course, you've got the lovely little oysters, which is the best part of the chicken.
Oh, thank you. I'll have that.
So we'll keep those. That all goes in. You can chop it up. Now, there's not really that much to it. It's not rocket science. Okay, that goes in there like so. I just wash my hands. Now, generally, in a kitchen, we go through a process where if we're making a brown chicken stock, we'll roast the bones off, we'll fry them off in a pan, we'll throw our vegetables in. This is kind of a cross between a brown chicken stock and a white chicken stock, because we've introduced a little bit of colour into the bones of the chicken, but we're not going to really colour them to make a brown stock. Simply from there on, we just throw in a tomato. Now if you've got some old overripe tomatoes, throw those in. Kind of whatever sort of vegetable you've got really that's in the sort of fridge or in the pantry. An onion, just simply in like so. One small onion to a whole chicken carcass.
So is it a good way maybe of using those vegetables that might just be on the edge?
Exactly, obviously. Yep. Soups, stocks, and then I've got a stick of celery, some parsley that I just took out of the garden. You can throw in thyme, you can throw in rosemary, although rosemary, if you use very little because it's a strong flavoured herb. And then what we do is we just simply cover that with water and we'll simmer it. Now, because we've cooked the bones, some people think that stocks take hours and hours and hours of sort of simmering, skimming. They do if you start with raw food or if you're making big volumes. At home, you've got a roast chicken, really a good 45 minutes to an hour on the stove like this, and you'll have a really nice chicken stock. So you've taken that, I've paid $16 a kilo for that chicken. The bones probably weigh about 500 grams. Okay, that's $8. That's $8 you would have just thrown out. Okay. Now let's see if we can get this working.
Does anyone make their own stock? You're pretty, yeah?
Do people?
Do you find it's much better to do it? I think we all get a little bit lazy because it's so easy just to, even a good quality one, it must be much nicer to make your own.
It is, and you know what's going in it. You know, there's no extra salts, there's no E numbers, no additives. Now I'll make that, I'll just turn it off, sit it on the stove until it cools down a little bit, strain it, put it into an empty milk jug, put the lid on, our milk container, and then freeze it, or leave it in your fridge door, so when you want to make a risotto or a soup, from here, once you've got a stock, you can go anywhere, you know.
Yeah.
You've got a great vehicle. Now,